Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Global Digital Success Talk. So today we have a guest. She is joining us all the way from Italy, but she's originally from Singapore. So she will be joining in a few minutes. But let's introduce ourselves. So you want to start, Melissa?
Oh, yes. Hi, everyone. Happy Sunday. My name is Melissa. I'm originally from Kenya. Kenya is in Africa. I'm a hotelier by profession, a former hotelier, but currently I'm doing the digital business, the fully doing digital business. And at this moment, I'm living in Mexico.
So, hello everyone. My name is Isabel. I'm originally from Mexico, but I live in the United States. I'm a wife, a mom, a grandmother, and I work for the school system as a teacher assistant, and I also have my digital business.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sandy. I'm originally from Panama. I, I live in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. I work in the movie industry, and I'm a digital business owner. Okay, so we want to remind everyone that every Tuesday and every Thursday we have our live webinars, 5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. EST. So if you want to catch the replay from our past Thursday, here are the hosts and the panelists.
Okay, so from our last webinar, which was on Thursday, our host was Eden, and Eden was a former caregiver. We had Gebmi, who is a payroll manager, Mereb, a receptionist, and we have Estelle, who is the head of hotel housekeeper.
Okay, we also have Leanne, a foster mom, retired registered nurse. Mercy, a former teacher and now a stay-at-home mom. Alfreda, she's a digital business owner, and Shikia she's a cleaner. So all these people were in our live webinar this past Thursday, and we have a replay that we can send out. We will have new hosts and new panelists for this coming Tuesday and Thursday. So if you want to attend one of the live webinars, just register on our websites and you can join the live webinar. If not, we can always send you the replay.
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Isabel. And we also want to mention, our replays have subtitles in any language. And our live webinar now has subtitles in 5 languages. So Vietnamese, Chinese, Filipino, Spanish, and French, and Arabic. Yeah. Okay, so let's bring our guest to the studio. Hi, Tina.
Hello, everyone. Hi.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
So would you like to introduce yourself to our audience?
Sure. Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning from wherever you're watching us live. My name is Teresa. Originally, as Sandy said, I was from Singapore. I moved to Italy, Sicily, 2 years ago after I got married here. So I have 2 grown-up sons. They are both in the early 20s. So I'm actually not needed as a mom anymore, right? Kind of. So I only look after one big baby, which is my husband. And my initial year in Italy was like very eventful because I'm trying to settling down in a new place, etc. And I was really busy. And then I became quite bored on the second year. I'm not used to the housewife thing. So that's me in a nutshell. I have zero IT knowledge prior to being a digital business owner. But then, yeah, here I am.
Thank you so much. Okay, so let's start with the first question.
Sure.
Okay, so our first question is, Tina, could you please tell us why did you decide to start this digital online business?
Okay. I mentioned a little bit about me getting bored being a housewife, right? And in my even as early as uh, beginning of this year, I still could not work legally in Italy because my permesso, which is my PR residency, was still pending. Um, and I needed something to do to keep my mind active because I used to work in a corporate field in Singapore. I used to own my own business in Singapore. So basically, I got really bored and I started looking for something to do. Plus, I feel that I have a lot of time freedom, but
Mhm.
I also need that financial freedom.
Yes.
Uh, okay. Thank you, Tina, for sharing your story. And you know what? I can totally resonate with your story because your story is similar to my story. I come all the way from Kenya and I took a leap of faith to come to Mexico as a newlywed. Same story as you. So, you know, the struggles of being an immigrant and trying to settle in a new country. You know, you're leaving your country and you think, like, oh, finally, I've seen the light at the end of the tunnel. And you're
No,
so,
it's not.
yeah,
It's not.
yeah. You're so happy, you're so excited. And of course, I was excited, but then also being a newly wed wife and you're trying to adjust to everything. I was struggling, first of all, with language barrier. And I knew I could get along here, but then, you know, when it comes to work, it's totally different. Adapting when you say, I want to look for a job. And beside that, I was still not able to like fully work. You know, there's
Mhm.
a process that you need to go through. And prior to that, I used to work in the hospitality industry. So my life had been busy, busy. I used to work in the Middle East for quite a long time, being away from home. And here I am in a new country trying to adjust. And I got something to do. I volunteered to teach English here and there. I got a job as well. But then I was, as much as I was enjoying something new that I was trying to do, I also felt like, uh, in terms of economic gains, what I was getting was not enough. So I was always on the lookout trying to find something that I can do. And that's how I stumbled upon this amazing business. And that's how I embarked on my journey as well. So I can totally resonate with you. And one thing I love about this business is that all of us, we have different whys, you know, different
Yeah.
whys. But then when we come together here and we start sharing our whys, it's sort of very interesting because it's not just about our whys, but you're able to connect together and have, you know, meaningful stories that we can share out there and give hope to people who are trying to look for a solution in their life, you know, maybe supplement their income, have quality time with their family, you know, name them, you know, because there's an opportunity in these times and age that we are living, you know, you can still be able to work from anywhere you want, be it at your
Mhm.
home, when you're traveling, like there's a solution. Yeah. So thank you for sharing your story, and back to you, Sandy.
Thank you. Um, yeah, I hear like so many, like we like I'm an immigrant kid. So
Mhm.
my parents came to Canada, when I was in my teens. So I do understand, like all the struggles that we have to go through, like learning a new language, and adjusting to a new culture, new country, and all that.
Yeah.
So my parents had to go, yeah, they couldn't work on the same field that they were working in Panama. So that's a struggle that many immigrants relate to. um, for me, when the reason why I decided to start this digital online business is because I was looking for something portable, like a business that was portable. Because my long hours in the industry that I work, it's very long, and it's Monday to Fridays, and I don't have that flexibility of like taking some time off while I'm working on the production. Um, and I have aging parents, because like I say, I came in my teens here. So my parents are independent at the moment, so I want to be able to enjoy them, and travel with them. They love to go to Panama, to because like they were born most of their life over there, so they miss their roots. Um,
Yeah.
so and they also love to watch baseball. So I want to be able to do those things that they love to do. And for making the sacrifice to bring us here and have a better future in Canada. And the other reason, like I love to travel. So eventually, when my parents are not gonna be able to like I'm gonna like are aging, like later on, I will have to take care of them. So with working in
Yeah.
the industry that I am, it's gonna be impossible to do that. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why like I wanna be able to retire early, so I can take care of them and also enjoy traveling with them now that they can. So having that portability and that flexibility was one of the key things that I was looking in this business.
I think that was a very, very important key
Mm-hmm.
for most of us, the flexibility of time.
Mhm.
And I don't think I can ever work and report to a boss ever again.
Yeah.
I'm sure we all agree to that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is true. Once we experience this, yeah, we don't want to go back. I
Yeah, we
totally
can't go back. Yeah. And I really love, enjoy working from home as well. Not just like from working from anywhere, but it's more the time flexibility of working from
yes.
home. And I'm actually doing things and I don't have to dress up every day. I don't have to listen to the alarm clock ring every morning.
Or
Not that I sleep
driving.
in, I don't. Or rushing in with traffic. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't miss that.
I don't know in Italy if you have the winter, but like here when we have the winter in Vancouver, it's like the world stuff for us because we're not used to have snow here. So when we have the snow, it's a chaos here. Lots of accidents, so it's not very good. So yeah, so I wouldn't like to go back to like driving. So
Oh yeah. In
staying
Sicily
home.
it doesn't snow here. It doesn't snow. Sicily's climate is quite friendly and pleasant, I would say. Winter doesn't drop below 10 degrees. So,
Mm.
but then the summers are scary. The summers hit 48 one year.
Oh
Wow.
wow.
Yeah, and 48 degrees Celsius. So you have to convert that to Fahrenheit. Don't know how to do that. And then during summer, they love to repair the water pipes. So we have no water and no prior um, warning. So I'm very chill already now. The first year I panicked. I was like, what? Yes. Gosh, I was like, what would I do? Now I'm so cool. Like, oh, no water? Okay, I'll come back again.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna go with the second question.
Okay.
Okay, Tina, were you skeptical before joining? What would you say to those who are on the fence or feeling skeptical?
Um, okay. Well, I have to give you a bit of history then. I joined, as I said earlier in this year, right? But last year, when I first arrived in Italy and I was settling in, someone actually connected with me, or rather, I connect with her because I was scrolling through Facebook, and she responded, and she actually introduced me to watch the complimentary webinar, which I only watched for 10 minutes, and then I turned it off. And then she was like, contacted me again, and she said, "How do you feel?" I said, "Honestly, I don't think this is for me." Now, there was no issue of mm, not trusting. There was no issue of doubts about the business because I only watched 10 minutes, right? I was probably just not interested and not interested in her, unfortunately. And I don't know why I only watched 10 minutes, right? So I never went back to it, but 10 minutes had given me some impression. So I left that. And this year, again, actually, I scroll through Facebook a lot, right? And I saw this lady talking to us on Facebook and all that. And she was talking about her business and how her life has changed. She was from the corporate life for the last 25, 30 years. I somehow associated with her. I don't know why. They said it's fate.
Mm-hmm.
And I connected with her again. And of course, she again told me to watch the webinar. But this time, I finished the whole 90 minutes. It had my full attention. Not only that, after the 90 minutes, I connected with her straight away on Facebook because we all will have our Facebook link um,
Yeah.
when we speak to prospective ones, right? So I connected with her straight away. We chat on Facebook. I was very comfortable with her, and I watched the webinar one more time. Right? I told her, let me watch it one more time, and I just put down my first investment. That was it. So now she's my mentor, and she's also my coach. And our whole team had this thing about maybe you get along with her because you both share the same name. She's also called Tina. Her name is also Tina. So we all say it's
Wow.
fate, but when I actually finish the webinar, which is what I'm trying to get, try to finish the webinar. It's very important that 90 minutes can change your life.
Mhm.
I realized that
Mhm.
that is really what I'm looking for. It meets it checked a lot of my questions. It gave me a lot of ticks to what I want, what I'm looking for. The only question I had, which I spoke to my mentor and coach, was the first question I asked was because I saw her Facebook, right? Do you have to do a lot of Facebook Live? Do you have to talk to the camera a lot? And she's like, calm down, just continue with whatever you're watching first. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that was the only thing I had, I guess. But there was no skepticism on the second time round. I guess because I watched the full 90 minutes, I understood what the business was about, and I felt that it was really right for me at that point in time. That's why I jumped in. Yep, I'm probably
Mhm.
one of the fastest because it's like watch 90 minutes, click yes, go. It happened all in a matter of 2 days, and that was it. Yep, I was on board. Yes.
Wow. I think a lot of us go through that. When we see when we see the ad the first time, and all these things are going through our mind, like, is it real? Like, is it true? Are they just trying to scam me? We just think about all these things, and then it takes a second time to watch it and really pay attention to all that they're saying, to really get what they're saying. And when I watched the first one, though, the first webinar, it really pulled my attention. But when I saw the ad the first time, the lady was actually out in a game with her daughter, and I resonated with that because my son plays soccer too. So I was like, hey, I could be doing that too. That could be me. Instead
Yeah,
of
yeah.
leaving work and running to catch some of his game, I could actually be there and watch the whole game. You know, so I really liked everything I saw since the beginning. It's just that my husband, he didn't really believe. He thought it was all a scam, and I kept wanting for him to tell me that it was okay, but he never said it was okay for me to join. So at some point, um, I decided to make my own choice. And I'm like, well, this is what I want to do. This is what I like. So I'm gonna go ahead and join the business. Um, and
I guess
so I
all of us,
kind of,
yeah, had that skeptical spouse, not us. Yeah, that skeptical spouse. I would say,
yes,
um, I heard. I mean, I have been talking to people as well. 50% of the people um, are stuck because of the skeptical spouse. Um, what I did was a bit different from you as well. I signed up first, and then I told him. And then he was like, no, it's a scam. Like, oh, okay, never mind. I'll just try it. Whatever. If it's a scam, it's my money, not yours. So, and to answer your second part of the question about those who are on the fence or feeling skeptical, what I'll say to them is, like I said, watch that full 90 minutes, number one,
Mhm.
and do your due diligence. If you're for
Mhm.
any reason not comfortable, speak to the person that you spoke to first. You must have been very comfortable with her or him when you watched and when you saw the advertisement on on Facebook or any social media to connect with them in the first place. There must have been that trust.
Mhm.
So if after watching the 90-minute webinar you have a lot of questions, I'm sure, or you have feelings of skepticism, go back to that person. And after that, I'm sure they will give you lots of answers. If you're still not comfortable, do your due diligence and do more fact finding. We are in the internet world.
Mhm.
Everything, every answer you want can be found on the net. Mr. Google is a very good friend of everybody, I'm sure. So there is nothing to hide. Plus, we are all real people. The person that caught your attention is a real life person. She's either a mother, father, definitely a parent, hopefully, I think, or but she's a real person. She had her life. We all post our life on social media. If we are going to scam you, I won't put my child or my family's photo there. I will even put a fake photo of myself. I won't dare to come on live. None of us would. So if you feel skeptical, don't hide behind your skeptical self. Ask questions. At least give yourself that chance. That's how I feel.
Yes, yes. I agree with you totally because, if somebody's interested in the business, the first step is for them to register with their name and email. And once they get the webinar and they watch it, and if they are really interested, they can always, connect with the person that they saw the ad from, and ask them questions. And, we have all our social media links on our pages. So if they want to send a message, if they want to reach out and maybe do a call, they can even do a face, call us
Time.
so that they can see us and we can see each other. And that way they're not thinking that we're fake or that we're not real or that we're trying to scam them. So there's many ways to connect and reach out if you're really interested in the business. So don't let that stop you from going forward.
Yep.
Uh, I want to add for my case, I didn't I was not skeptical. And actually, even when I started my own journey, that's when I started hearing some other business partners saying some were skeptical. But for me, I was not skeptical. I think I was at that point where that I was looking for something, but I know I was also praying. And even after watching the first webinar, I remember I had so much peace in my heart, like, like go for it. But to be honest with you, I did watch several webinars, and I asked all the questions that I needed to get answered before I made the decision. But from the word go, I knew this is something that I really wanted, and I was not skeptical about it. Yeah, but it's good. I just heard from one of the business, the mastermind that we had. I think it's the one for last week or the 2 weeks ago, and they were saying that being skeptical actually is a sign of being you are intelligent. You want your questions to be answered, so it's not something that is bad. It's something that is good actually, because it gives you the reasons to want to know more. And we always give you like a whole like 30 days. You can always chat with the person you came across their advertisement, or whoever told you about the business. You can ask all the questions that you want to ask. We have a page, a Facebook, page where as well, where if you are aspiring to be an entrepreneur, you can always, ask questions, see other people's stories and life, and with time you get that ease to kickstart your journey as well. So there's always a chance to check it out and have all your questions answered. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, for me, I was not as skeptical either. Like I saw the ad, and then it was a group of people, and because they were talking about traveling, and then you can use the expenses of the business travel, and declare you at the end for the income tax. So then I watched the webinar, and then when it was time to for to know more for the fee, I was like, okay, is this amount is gonna hurt me if like if I don't get it back? Even though like there's 30 days, so I was like, okay, it's not a huge amount. It's not like a $1,000 or $2,000, which is a lot of money. So at that point, I say, okay, I'll just do it. And then I watch it. And then when I went in and I learned more about the business, then it checked all the boxes that I was looking for. The only thing is when I went to the private Facebook group, and then I saw all these business owners already having success in the community. I was like, my, too good to be true, like how they can make this amount of money. But of course that's normal because we are new into the business. We don't really understand how everything works. So for us to see something like that is like it's like out of this world.
Mm-hmm.
But once we are inside and we understand the business, then we know how you can do it. But yeah, it takes time, but
Yep.
a lot of perseverance and resilience, and hard work. But the fruit, at the end, it's very rewarding after all this hard work.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Okay, we're gonna go to the third question.
Okay, so our third question is, what keeps you motivated in this business?
Um, I guess everybody has a why, like you said, right, earlier,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Teresa. So my biggest why is my son, who lives in Singapore, and he is actually finishing his last few months more to go university degree. So I want him to continue if he wants to, but he's going to the army first. But I also want something stable for him, because as you know, in Singapore, the cost of living, the standard of living is very high. I'm sure everybody in the
Mm-hmm.
world reads about
Yeah.
Singapore now. It's ridiculous there. And personally, for him, he's undecided whether he wants to stay or he wants to come and join me in this part of the world. Um, may not be Italy, but he will find a place. So I realized that for the generation after us, they don't have the luxury of hand-me-down homes like what we had from our parents' days, I guess. And because of the cost of living is very high, um, in order for them to kind of survive even, it's not easy. So I wanted something for my son, to provide for my son, and more importantly, with this business, up to a certain level, you can leave a legacy behind, which is very important for me. When I watched that webinar, and I realized that, because what's the best thing you can give to your child? A good life, and he doesn't have to worry. My second motivation is myself. Like I said, it tick all the boxes I want. And previously, I was already a business owner, so I once I decide to do something, I must be able to achieve it. Especially that when there are a lot of naysayers at the side, even my closest friends will say, "Are you sure? You keep posting on Facebook, and what exactly do you guys do?" And my warm market is actually lukewarm, honestly. I get all my leads from raw, like really raw. Because I guess those closest to you are concerned about you, number one,
Mhm.
but because they do not know the business, is a lot of hearsay, they will give you a lot of negative vibes. So
Mhm.
I motivate myself. Um, Very importantly, I motivate myself. Yeah.
Oh, wow, thank you so much for sharing your story. I can totally resonate with what you said, and I'm sure it's for most of us is the same thing. Number one is our whys. Why? Even in those days when you feel demotivated, you go back to ask yourself. You have a talk with yourself. Why did I start this business? So, number one for me as well is my why. Number two is I know that I found something that I had been looking for a long time. Many years ago, I'd been looking for this because, as I shared before, I used to work in the hospitality industry out of my country in the Middle East, and I was always busy, busy, busy. I hardly had time to go for vacation, or rather, I didn't have a flexible schedule that would allow me to choose the time that I want to go and spend with my family. Like maybe New Year Eve, that's a very busy time for us, for the people working in the
Yeah.
hospitality industry. And that's when actually you can be able to gather together with your family because everyone at that time they've taken vacation. So it was always like really hard to get that time to spend quality time with family. So after many years of working, so I knew I wanted something that was flexible, that will allow me to spend quality time with my family too. Also is that the aspect where that I know I can supplement our income being after having moved here to Mexico, and also the picture of knowing that I'm starting a life where even in future I can actually pass on this business to our children. That really really inspired me because actually I'd never heard of a business like that before. Maybe I was ignorant. I had not heard of something like that before. So that is something that really captured my mind. And also the fact that I can move with this business anywhere I want. I mean, Mexico is a beautiful country. So I wanted something that I can move around, travel around with the business, and it will not limit me. My time to work and enjoy the things that I want to do. And beside that, without forgetting to mention the community, every day is not the same. Sometimes you can try to motivate yourself, but the motivation is not coming. Yeah. But I know the minute I watch the business mastermind, because for anyone who is watching you out there, we have weekly business mastermind where we gather with other global business partners and other experts, who are also doing this business, and you hear successful stories that really spur you up, and you get to sit down and think about yourself. Okay, I have to keep going with this journey, and immediately your motivation is back, and you start focusing on your business. I've never had, any time where I feel like I'm done. No, I've never had that. But there are times when you're just, you're not in the energy, but, when you hear people sharing their stories and the things that you're learning, because you get to learn a lot of things, your energy is back, So, yeah, so those are the things that really motivate me. And Tina, thank you so much for sharing your story and what really motivates you in this business. Yeah, you're actually a person who is also motivating us here as we share this story here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna go to the other question. Okay, so have you encountered any challenges along your journey?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. I'm sure all of us would have,
Definitely.
Yes.
apart from the negative friends whom you have to like swap them off as like houseflies, like out you go, out of my life you go. Not exactly out of your life, but more like you're my friend, I don't want to talk about it. Leave me alone, you know? The other challenge would be, I wouldn't say it's a challenge. I kind of turn it back into an advantage for my self growth. Is facing the camera. I never knew I could do this. Talking to you ladies, being a guest, is much easier than hosting my own live show, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm doing my own live chat, I'm the one controlling it. And that um, was scary at first. The other thing was to speak in front of the camera on the social media to promote myself. And my mentor actually schedule timelines for what I should do. So just last month, she said, "It's time you go live." I was like, "What? It's time you go live." Like, right, I'm not ready. You'll never be. By this time, this day, this morning, when you do your walk, I want you to try it. So I did it. I mean, it was not easy the first time. um, I remember the first time, a few different things. The first time I did my ad, I had 50 takes. That was an advertisement to promote our service, right? The first time I tried to go live, it was another 40, 50 takes, but that wasn't so good. And then I guess it comes to practice. Recently, I just did a go live and it was 30 takes. Not too bad. It dropped. And eventually, I did a go live, real life. Like the others were like pre-recorded for advertisement purposes or to put a video on Facebook. But the actual go live on Facebook, I did it. I finally did it. And like I said, it's not really that bad a challenge. It's more like I overturned it and I turned it into an advantage for me, which actually came out quite fun. And the other thing was, like I mentioned earlier, I'm not very IT savvy. In fact, I'm really IT zero. Well, as my son is a computer engineering going to be graduate, right? So, one thing I have to thank, apart from my coach and mentor, is this very, very good training system that the business provides us.
Mhm.
Um, it is a training that is a chore to learn, but more as an interest because I found out so many things that I didn't know back then when I was my own business owner in Singapore doing the traditional business. Um, I used to think that designing, you need to farm out to an agency to do it or a design house to do it and pay them at least 5,000, no, 500, sorry, 500 to 1,000 euros. That's minimum. But you saw my logo there, right? I did it
Yes.
myself.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes, I did it
It's
myself.
beautiful.
I did it myself, and my son had a shock of his life. He's like, "What do you do? You sure you did it? No kidding, mom. You paid somebody, right?" I said, "No, I did it. I can show you how I did it. I can tear the whole thing apart and I can fix it back again," which is something that I really like. Yeah. So again, I would say a challenge became um, something that actually enhances um, your self worth and your life.
Yes.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
sure you ladies agree with me, right?
No, no.
Agree with you.
We agree with you. Yeah, totally. We all relate. I think we all relate to the going in front of the camera. For example, like Melissa and I, we started in a 90 days group challenge going live as a group.
You
And it
did.
was pretty scary when, because we took turns to talk, to speak, and we were very scared, when it was our turn to speak, and like we didn't know what to say. So at the beginning, like if we could look back to our first lives, it was like, oh my God, that's me, what I was saying. But yeah, it's a learning curve, but that helped us to, overcome our fears, and face our fears and think, like, I mean, this we're doing this because, we want people to connect with us, to get to know each other's, how who we are, know also more about the business. So if you don't go out of your comfort zone, you're gonna stay there. And the whole point of this is to keep growing, you know.
Yep.
And that's what our training provides, like working on our mindset, um, learning so many other skills, like you mentioned, you're not tech savvy, and now you're able to do a lot of things that you were not able to do it before. So that's amazing, like how, if you look at yourself, when you started from the beginning and where you are today, you will see a huge difference. And even
Yes.
people that know you, and they see you now, they say, oh my god, you have changed, you're like a different person, and it's true. So it's really good, like yes, we have challenges, but because of those challenges, we grow as a person. You have to look at it in the positive way, like thinking outside of the box, and look the other side and move forward. And if you need to make an adjustment, you make adjustments, but you keep going. Yeah. Anybody else want to add something?
Uh, yeah. I think something beautiful comes out of the challenges that we experience, because I think in most cases we are afraid. I remember even when I scroll back on my page, my social media page, and I look at the first go lives I was doing. After I finish, I was always tempted to delete them because I was like, oh God, it's terrible, yeah. But then I felt something in my heart saying, don't. And even when we come here, we are showing our authentic self, because for you to reach somewhere, there's work that you need to go through to it. You don't want to show. And I think that's what people are looking for. They are looking for authenticity. So it's not like we knew everything, but we took a leap of faith and we've been working on our challenges, or rather things that we don't have experience with. And repetition is the key. So with time, we are able to build something beautiful out of it. Yeah. So, without even sharing, I've had also a lot of challenges, but I just want to emphasize more on the beauty of taking a leap of faith and trying something, because actually being on camera is so scary because everyone is watching you and you have a lot of limiting beliefs and noises going through your mind, and you're like, what will people think? But the minute you stop thinking what people will think and focus on yourself, boom, things start working. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that is it for now, what I can share.
Thank you. Okay, the next question.
Okay, next question. Tina, what benefits have you experienced since joining the online business?
Um, Apart from the training that I learned a lot, um, meeting a lot of different like-minded business owners globally,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
uh, health benefits as well.
Yeah.
We lead a healthier life because of what we promote, and I would say mentally, it actually developed me further into a better person, because I believe that with a successful business, and I'm not talking about monetary success,
Mhm.
right? It is more emotional as well. This business gave me an objective. Instead of, in the past, I used to wake up and some days I forget what day it is, on a bad term, because it became very monotonous when I was trying to settle in Italy, and when I was trying to become a housewife. Can you imagine, from a, running a business, a company in Singapore, I came here to try and run a household. The only thing that I was good at was cooking. Honestly, the rest, I mean, I'm sure you all know that in Singapore we have live-in helpers. I do not need to lift a finger. But that is like unheard of in this part of the world. I mean, I'm quite fortunate. I do have somebody who comes to help with the cleaning once a week, but once a week versus a live in person that is on call 24/7 was a totally different thing. So it became very monotonous, for me, and there was no sense as in I just wanted to sleep in on some days for the bad reason as well, because there's nothing to do. um, I feel that okay, the supermarket is always there. If I don't cook, we'll buy takeout or we'll go restaurants to eat. But there was nothing that motivates me and keeps me like alive, in a different word. That's why I said it's not just the financial benefits, but it's an emotional benefit, because I feel that once I started this business, of course, the initial early days, I'm sure we all put in a lot of hours into training. I myself, okay, I know my coach is going to be like watching later, but I will tell the truth. In the early days, every day I schedule 3 hours faithfully. I go through the training step by step, and I really watch every mastermind. But of course, as time progresses, you slacken a little bit, but the beauty of it is it's all pre-recorded, so I can still go back to watch it.
Mhm.
And the beauty
Mhm.
about the training is it's also recorded, so you get to learn at your own pace. Nobody is chasing you, and it's not in a classroom situation or in a group situation where you are forced to catch up with other people, or sometimes in school in the past we are afraid to ask questions. But this is really is you and the training itself. Not sure, ask your coach, right? Still not sure, sometimes coach is not available, ask your team members. Or we have a group chat and a chat online that you can ask other people as well. Like, now that I know you ladies, if I have any issues, I'll ask you all.
Mhm.
And if you have any questions, you can ask me too. Like, for example, one day you might want to target a different market in Italy. And if you go into specific demographics, and if you want to know anything, if I'm able to help you, I will help you, because I might go to Mexico another time and I will call Melissa, help. All to help each other, because we are not in competition with each other. And that is another beauty about this online business, because when you work in a corporate field, or even when you're working running your own business, there is another competitor somewhere out there, definitely. But with this business, the only competitor you have is yourself,
Correct.
to challenge yourself, to become
Mhm.
better, not to slacken and not to sleep in. I don't sleep in anymore. See, I wake up every day because there's things to do. And I want to do it. And I'm not forced to do it. I want to do it. That is the biggest difference, I would say, that has, yeah, benefited me.
Yes, thank you for sharing, Tina. There is so many benefits in this business, and like you said, that the main benefit, like when we all join the business, I think we're all focused on the monetary, making money out of this business. But once we're in the business, we learn that there's so much than that, personal growth, just connecting and meeting so many other business owners and learning from them, from their culture, making all these friendships. And, our community is so big, and everybody's so friendly, so helpful. So that's another benefit that we have. And, the training has so much in it, not just how to run the business, but it also has, a lot about mindset. It has books, so your self growth is up to you. You can grow every day, learn something new every day. So there's a lot of benefits in this business. And the thing about it, you said you're in Italy, I'm in US, Sandy's in Canada, and Melissa's in Mexico. But what if one day we're going to go visit one of those countries? We already have
Yeah,
somebody there, right? That maybe
Yeah.
we can reach out and meet up for a coffee or for whatever. So it's always good to have people and to make these connections around the world,
Yeah.
to meet other cultures and learn about other people too.
Yes. Okay. So we're gonna go to the next question.
Okay, so our next question is, would you say this business is for everyone? Why or why not?
Yes, definitely it is for everyone. Um, Number one, you don't need prior experience.
Mhm.
I'm sure there's a lot of our business owners in this business that prior experience company running. We have a lot of stay-home moms who decide that because of the time flexibility, they wanted to join this business, but they've never owned a business before. You know, um, we also have a lot of healthcare specialists who also have never managed or run a business before, but they decide to join. So the answer would be yes, it's for everyone who wants to make it and who wants to make a business to change their life for the better. So it is up to that everyone who is that person. If you're a person that can motivate yourself or can work with others as well as independently on your own and give yourself that self challenge and want to learn. Yeah, want to learn new things every day and want to change, make a change for a better life, then it is, yes, definitely for you. I would not say that it is not for everyone at all. I would say it is for everyone. Yep, because there's so many ticks in a person's life. Changing to making a change for a better life for a person in the 50s would be very different from a person in the 30s because your life needs at the different stages would be very, very different. Like for a person who is in their 30s, they probably have a young family, then they would need both financial and time flexibility because you want to spend quality time with your family while the kids are still growing up. You don't want to miss on their growing years, but at the same time, you also want that added financial help. But for a person like me, forgot to tell you my age when I started, actually, when I started introducing myself, I'm actually in my 50s. So children are already out of the nest.
Mhm.
I don't need to spend that quality time with them. Not that I don't want to, it's more like they do not want to spend a quality time with me anymore, right? Girlfriends are more important than mommy. So then my quality time will be with my husband and also for myself to do things that I want to do for the next, hopefully, 20, 30 years of my life. Because I really passed that kiddie family growing stage. I have worked all my life. I do not want to report to a boss anymore. So then, yes, this business is for me because of this reason. So I guess it would be what is your reason and what is your biggest why? Then do it. Yep. Did I
Thank you.
answer your question?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And I mean, I'm totally in agreement with you, with what you've shared. Because, when I embarked on my journey, I was surprised, to realize actually this business, we have professionals from all walks of life. Because in a traditional way, when you're looking for a job, they normally ask you for your CV. They want to see if you have experience. They want to see how many, experience, whether you have some credentials on what they really want. And so when I started my business, I was so surprised to see that we have all professionals from all walks of life. I'm a hotelier by profession, and the rest of you, you have your own backgrounds, and also the factor of age that I remember also. I've seen some seniors, I think the latest one I saw is around 80 years. He's already retired. He's at home, and doing this business gives him so much joy, and he's doing well, because it's a business that you work according to your own schedule. So for anyone who is out there, you can hear, all that we are sharing with you, that this business is for everyone, as long as, I also want to add this, you're a person who is ambitious, and you're coachable, you're hardworking, and you know what you want. Then if you're not, then it becomes like it's not a business for you, because you need to be a person who is coachable, you're hardworking. We are not looking for perfection. As long as you have those traits, you're good to go. And the community at large will be there for you, and you'll see yourself growing. You'll be surprised. Yeah. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to add for now.
Thank you, Melissa. Okay, so we're gonna go with the next question. Okay, what has surprised you the most about this online business?
Um, Watching the community grow, and realize that there is so much um, growth potential, but this part is the financial part already, and how the business model actually worked for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we must thank the founders. It
Yeah.
is one really, really impressive business model that they found, and that has changed so many lives. And what surprised me was, like I said, apart from watching the webinar, it was also the masterminds as well. When we hear true life stories from real people about how this business has helped them, not just personally, but it helps their families as well. And like
Mhm.
all of us, me and Melissa, Sandy, I'm not sure about as well. We are immigrants, and being immigrants, we all have families back home that still need some of our support. It doesn't mean that you move and then you forget everything behind, right? So with this business, you are able eventually to provide and to help. I feel that that is important. And what surprised me was the earning capacity of this business.
Mm-hmm.
It is definitely not an MLM because you don't earn over somebody. It's you and your team. And you don't have to whip anybody. More like you better whip yourself because it's your personal growth, right? You set your own targets, not your boss set for you.
Mm-hmm.
You decide the time frame you want to reach this target. So if you don't reach it, then you only have to ask yourself why and nobody else, because you are accountable for yourself. And I find that this is really very, very impressive. Surprise may not be the right word. Surprise on the earning, the scale of the earning capacity. Yes, it seems like the sky's the limit. If you want to do it. And the other big thing that impressed me before I decided to join was the assurance that we do not have to carry any stocks.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I was my own business owner, and I had to pay upfront before I can get my products stocks, and you have to keep the stocks in a warehouse, extra costs, and you have to make people deliver your stocks for you, extra costs. But with this business, we don't carry stocks. We do not have to employ anybody. Um, to do the administrative side, the sales side, and it is us and the back end system that works 24 hours for us. We do not have to do hardcore sales, cold calls, etc., because we don't contact the person. Whoever wants to join this business contacts us. And we don't go knocking doors, and we don't even, like I said, my warm market is really lukewarm, right? Because I left it there, and there is no need to bug family and friends. Like, for example, if it's an insurance product, you have a quota to meet, your bosses will be breathing down your neck, and you have no choice but to, and they teach you, call all your family members to buy one policy from you, and everybody becomes non-family and non-friends. So with this business, I guess it's the opposite way, because the family and friends came to bug you, and what are you doing? What exactly is this business about? And that's where you open the door and say, are you interested? If you are, let me send you the link to this 90-minute webinar. It's complimentary. No worries, just watch it. No obligations as well. Don't like it, switch it off. That's it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is that surprise. Yes.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Like one of the surprises, like you mentioned, is I what I love is the model that we have for the business plans compared to like other businesses that are out there. Like you mentioned, we don't have to deal with inventory stock like other businesses. Um, I like because it's like it's I found it like very easy to do. Yeah, you gotta put your work in terms, like marketing because we do attraction marketing.
Yeah.
Um, but besides that, it's not like you have to sell or you have to push people to join the business. You don't have to do that. And like you said, like because of our content and because we do our lives, people watching us, and then eventually they keep curious. Like what is it that you do, like and then they approach you to ask you.
Mhm.
So,
Yep.
Mhm.
so it's I love the system, and like you meant the other stuff, that we mentioned was the way that the sky's the limit in terms of making your own money. Like you're the one who decide how much you want to make, pretty
Mhm.
much. So that I love, and the legacy plan that this business has. That's the other thing that I was not aware. And then when I found out about that, I was like, whoa, I love that. Because if you think about it, that legacy plan, yeah, you can pass it on to your kids too. But for us that, while still alive, it's kind of like your retirement plan,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
because, the one that we receive from usually from the government is not enough. So that, that amount that we receive is a nice retirement plan. So yeah,
Yeah.
I love the design that of this business that we have. I really love it.
Yep.
So the next question.
Okay, the next question is any final words or advice or inspiration for our viewers?
Um, I wouldn't say inspiration. Well, maybe inspiration. Check out my Facebook page or just connect with any of us. But a word of advice is do your due diligence. Give yourself that 90 minutes of your time, because that 90 minutes may just change your life. And if you feel that after the 90 minutes, this business is not for you, okay, you just wasted 90 minutes. That's it. But if you don't even give yourself that 90 minutes, you might miss out on a lifetime of opportunity that could help you and your family. Of course, you also have to be very determined, because from the word go, it's go. There's no turning back. But like I said, most important is to connect with um, whoever, any of us, and ask for that 90-minute webinar. It's complimentary. There is no extra cost to you, right? And if you decide to do the initial investment, is 100% refundable within the first 30 days. Again, no loss. Like Sandy said, it's a very small investment. I mean, it's not even the price of my supermarket for 1 week. So, what's there to lose? Except, like I said, your time. But your time is only 90 minutes. What can you do in 90 minutes? Like, you can't even do a proper hair treatment in 90 minutes. So, there's nothing to lose. But there's a lot to gain if you decide to jump onto it. And you have lots of global friends all over the world, just like me.
Yes. Um, yeah, I just wanted to add
Yeah.
in regards to the 90 minutes webinar, to watch the 90 minutes webinar. If you found, like for example, like Tina, at the beginning that she only watched the 10 minutes, uh, just you can watch it, and if you feel tired, just take a break and then come back later and continue watching it. But yeah, I would recommend you to watch the entire webinar, because that's how you will know if this is really for you or not. But if you stop watching it from the beginning, you won't know and you will stay at the same place where you are. Okay, so
Yeah.
we have arrived to the end of our live. So we're gonna do a little recap of what we touched today. So we talk about, why we decided to start this digital online business. If we were skeptical before joining, and what would we say to those who are skeptical or sitting on the fence? Also, what keep us motivated to do this business, and what challenges have we encountered during our journey, and the benefits that we experience doing this online business. Also, if we think this business is for everyone, yes, but like like Tina mentioned, you have to know your why, because that's your fuel that is going to keep you forward. Um, and then the other thing that we touched was, what has surprised you the most about this online business. So, and the final words that we heard from Tina just a few seconds ago. We want to remind everyone, we have our live webinars every Tuesday and every Thursday, 5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. EST. What time in Italy, Tina?
9:30,
9:30.
9:30 p.m. Yeah.
9:30 p.m.
Yeah.
These are the panelists and hosts, from the last past Thursday, if you want to catch the replay for the live webinar.
Okay, so from our last replay of the complimentary webinar, which was on Thursday, we have Eden, who was our host, and she was a former caregiver. Gebemi, who is a payroll manager. Merab, who is a receptionist. Esteye, who is the head of hotel housekeeper.
Okay, we also had Leanne, foster mom, retired registered nurse. We also had Mercy. She's a former teacher, now a stay-at-home mom. Elfrida, she's a digital business owner. And Shikia, she's a cleaner. So these are our hosts and panelists from last Thursday's live webinar. And you can always register on one of our websites to get the replay or watch a live webinar on Tuesdays or Thursdays.
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Isabel. And yeah, and again, we want to remind the replay is available in any language for any subtitles. And then live webinar is available in
Mhm.
5 languages: Arabic, Spanish, French, Filipino, and Vietnamese. Yes. Um, And then, if you guys want to follow us in our pages, we have our pages here on the top. So you get to know us a little bit more, and then a little bit get to know a little bit more about the business and the content that we post. We also have our website here on the screen, so you can register with your name and email address, and we'll send you an invitation to the live webinar, where you will hear about the business plan that we offer and testimonials of business owners of our community. And also, we invite you to our private Facebook group. Well, you will see more stories, success stories from business owners from our community, and more information about the business. Would you like to explain what happened when they register?
Yes, so when you register on one of our websites, you will get the webinar. All you're doing is putting your name, your email, and we will send you the webinar. We're not doing anything with your information. You're not committing to the business. It's just for you to receive our business plan and see if this is something that would work for you. So nothing else.
Thank you, Isabel. And we have a comment
Sandy, we
here.
also have a comment. Yeah.
Yes, we have a comment here. Hi, thank you for watching.
Hello.
Hi.
And we want to thank all the viewers that watched us today and all those watching the replay. For those watching the replay, let us know in your comments, where you're watching from, so we can show, we're global in this community. Also, thank you for your emojis and all the comments that we received. So thank you so much again. And we want to thank also our special guest today, Tina, for sharing part of her time. I know it's very late over there where you are, and you decided, to join us today and share your story with the viewers and with all of us. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
your time.
Thank you.
So that's it, everyone. So until the next episode of the Global Digital Success Talk. Bye, everyone. Happy Sunday.
Bye.
Bye.